Sir, you are on mute, sir.
Okay. All right. So the thing which I'm asking is, what does this line represent?
Long forwards.
Okay. Long forward, long future. What else can this line represent? Anybody? What else actually this line also represent?
Long position in the spot market.
Yes, exactly. So the spot market, even we are holding the share, it will look like this. Long share. Okay, so you can see that long forward and long share look like same, but we don't use this product to hedge. We use the short forward to hedge the long share. Okay, and obviously then this is very easy. This is the short forward which you can see. Okay, now tell me which is this product quickly.
Short call.
Short call.
Short call, great. Which is this product?
Long
Long
put.
Okay,
Long
great.
foot.
Okay, so now I think once we do this, you know this. What is this?
Long call.
Long call.
What about this?
Short put.
So
Short put.
we are all in the same page. I think we can go ahead with the next part, which is nothing but the parity equations. So what we actually are looking at is there is a relationship between the options and the forward also, and that's what we are going to look at, how actually and what is the relationship between them. And so yesterday when I was talking to you, I also gave you the some positions which the people can take, and then this will look like this. So if you remember the notations which I was yesterday using, so I can write this as plus S. That means I'm long in share. Plus is for long input, and this is my call, right? And here we are saying that these are European options, so only at the end we can exercise it, and then there is a same expiration date, and the exercise price is also same. Now with these assumptions only we will go ahead with, and then we can calculate what is the parity equation. So practically we'll find that there will be some differences here and there, and that can be modified in the Excel sheet, and that we can see. But the illustration purpose, we will assume these things to go ahead with, and then see what equations we come out with. So now if you look at the long stock, long put, and short call, which is the same thing as saying this. So instead of writing long every time, I'm just writing plus and short ke badle. Now we can see that what is the net portfolio investment at date zero. So long zero, the today's purchase price, which is going to be S0. Long put, the premium which you will be paying to the long put person. So your payment will be P0T, right? So the premium which you are paying, you are buying it, right? You are buying it. And short call, you are selling something, and for which you will be receiving the premium. So total cash, the net investment. So you have invested this amount. This is the cash outflow, right? Cash outflow. So this is cash outflow. This is also cash outflow, but then this is cash inflow. Okay, so the total investment is S plus P minus C is the amount which you are actually investing. So we can give some figures here. So 52 and 1, something like that. So you know that 52 minus 1, right? So 51 is my investment, is what we are looking at. Okay, anyway, now what happens is portfolio value at option expiration date T. So if the equation is that this is the exercise price 50 X, right? So this is your X, and if X is greater than ST, that is ST is less than X, whichever way. So if ST is less than X here, okay, this part of the portion, so you will get the share price. So suppose this is 45, you will get the 45 rupees from the share. What happens to the long put? Now, where the long put and how it will look like? Long put will look like this. So you'll be having x minus st, which is 50 minus 45. So 5 rupees will be there. Short call is what? On the same diagram, if I want to draw, it will be like this. Okay. And short call, since it is below, so there is nobody will exercise that. That long call person will not exercise, and therefore there is nothing here. So what is the net position? So net position is st plus x minus st. st gets cancelled. Net position is x. Similarly, you can see that 45 gets cancelled, and what ultimately you get is 50, or 45 plus 5, 50. So you know that the net position, if you are on the left side of the equation, left side of the diagram, then you will get this output. What happens if st is greater than x? So the right hand side of the equation now, then you will get the same. Suppose it is 55, so you will get 55 here. No issues. What happens to long put? Long put, you will not exercise because it is above 50, above exercise price, you will not exercise. So there is no question of this. So there is no payoff there, 0. And what happens to the short call? Short call is there, right? Short call, that is at 55. The other person who is long call will exercise, and therefore you have to pay 5 rupees to that person, 55 minus 5, and therefore it will be minus 5, and total position is 50. So you can see that, in fact, what is happening at time maturity time t is that whether the st is less than x or st is greater than x, your total position is remaining constant. That is x. Okay, so the position is fixed, and I think here some other example is taken. Okay, doesn't matter. So instead of this 52 and 1, here it is 2.51 and 6.81, and you can see that. So in fact, if we go with this example, your initial investment is 48.77, right? All right, and the total final position is 50. So you actually get return, which is confirmed. You know that I have taken this position today, so we can think it is in terms of timeline, 0 and maturity. So today I have invested 48.77, and whatever is the period, for that period I have ensured that I'll get 50 by taking the position of S plus P minus C. Right. So I can see that by taking this position of S plus P minus C today, right, my value of the S plus minus T at T is 50, which is constant, irrespective of whatever is happening to the share price or that underlying. Are you getting this point clearly? Are you getting this point clearly? So you have taken S plus P minus C position with an investment of 48.77. You ensure that whatever happens to the underlying, you will get 50. So you already know that what is your return. You invested 48.77, you are going to get 50. Right? So there will be some return there. So what is actually it is telling you is that if I use this, if I have a share plus one put and I short a call, I'm getting a fixed output, and therefore you can see that it's written as long synthetic T-bill, as if it is like synthetic is the word like pseudo. So if you are saying that long T-bill, as if I'm holding the T-bill, that is the bond, government bond, as if I'm holding the government bond, it's coming out like that. That fixed price of 50 is there. So the S plus P minus C is going to be this. Now here the further calculation, which actually you can see that 48.77 has become 50, and I'm assuming this is to be half year. So you can use the earlier SAPM learnings. You can see that holding period return is this, and if I calculate annual HPR, that will be 1.02, and the annual HPY is 5.11. So this return is known to you in advance that if all the assumptions are true, my return is going to be 5.11%. Okay, so now you can see all this is available. So I think this is not an issue. Okay, so you can actually put this into diagram now, and you can see that S0 plus P0 T plus C, that is your investment. Right? He is ensuring X here. Correct? So we know that if I'm investing 48.77, I'm going to get 50 for sure here. So if I have, it's like I'm holding a bond whose face value is 50, and I want to compare these two investments at the same time. What is the value of them together? So both should be equal at the same time. So I have to bring this back here. Right? And if it is bond and government bond, I can use the RFR, the risk-free rate there. So this equation is looking like that. The investment is equal to, this should be equal to X, that is 50 upon 1 plus RFR raised to whatever is the period. Right? That is T here in this case. So we know that this equation now, which is S plus P minus C, it is equal to X upon 1 plus RFR, is called as put call spot parity equation. Okay, so we have seen with the example how the certain combination of put and call and some share with it is going to give me a fixed amount, right? So we know that X is in maturity time period T, and I want to see that what is the value of that in today's. So today's term, this is equal. This is what we are saying. So this is why the parity is nothing but equality. Equality. So any questions on this part? Yes. Any questions on this part? Have you understood the concept and how we derived the S plus P minus C is equal to X upon 1 plus RFR raised to T, and T being the maturity period, right? S is long share, long put, short call. So is this clear? We'll also do the same thing in Excel sheet now, and we'll get, if some of you are thinking that we should do it in Excel sheet, we'll do that in Excel sheet. So let's say the possibility of ST at the end is going to be 45 to 50. We'll do the same, sorry. We'll do the similar example so that it becomes easy for us to. So we'll drag it up to 55. Okay, then ST is there. Then our portfolio is of, yes, is nothing but ST only. That is, then it is going to be ST, right? But then as of now, say that S plus P, okay, and this is going to be my minus C. Okay, so you can see that this is my position. Okay, let's calculate what is my portfolio value total. So you can see that this, I'll say that portfolio value, right? So first, let's see, this is going to be red. So let's tag that as X or today's price or F, right? So it doesn't matter. And now what happens to this S? That means share price. Share price is actually is written here. So you know that it is going to be the same as this. So let's write this is equal to this, and you can just simply double click. Right? So I'm since holding the share, the same amount will be received by me, right, by selling it. So 45 is my cash inflow. Now what about the P part? Yeah, now I'm waiting for you to tell me the equation, and then we'll go ahead. So what should be the P here? Max of? Yes, go ahead.
Max of 0, comma,
F.
X minus.
Max of 0, comma,
X minus S.
X minus ST. Great. So we can write that, and then we can say that max of the 0.
Sorry, sir, ST minus X, sir.
ST minus X?
Yes, sir.
Why st minus x?
So because it will give positive. It's a long put. So
St minus will give positive. Just see. Why there is a confusion? Look at the diagram.
no, sir. Right, sir. Right.
Okay. So we can see. Let's see it once again. X, and this is your long put.
Yes,
So
sir,
what should be
understood.
done?
X
We have to
minus
get the positive. So
x minus st.
x minus st. So x minus st will give you positive values, right? So we can see that this is what we should do. So equal to max of 0, comma x, sorry, x f4 minus st is this, and I can just enter, and you can see that I'm getting 5 rupees, and then double click, and I can see that if I draw this, it should look like the long put. Okay, now let's calculate this, and again tell me what should be the call output. So when you are going to do this, in your case, I hope you are doing parallelly or whatever, because just don't look at the screen. You also can do parallelly, or at least write it on the notepad so that you'll be able to see what you are doing. See, that is the difference in the online and offline. I'll not be able to see what you are actually doing. So if I'm doing this, you should also parallel do, not in Excel sheet because it will be taking too much time. So you can do it on the notepad where you can write it down and see that whether you're getting the same answer or not. Okay. So now what is happening here? So can you tell me what will be the equation here which we can actually put? Yes.
Minus max 0 st
Okay.
minus x, or maybe x minus st.
Why maybe? So you
X
should
minus.
look
No,
at
because
the diagram.
we need negative values.
Yes. You remember that way also is fine. Great. So you can see that this is there. And if I'm having ST on this line, so when the negative values will come?
The x minus
So
st.
negative I'm giving, if I do X minus XT will also be fine. Okay. If you do X minus ST also will do. But then remember the call part which we actually did. So if you see that the call part, the long call part. See, in the long call part, what you are doing is, if I want st minus x is what is going to give me the positive values, right? So if you calculate positive and then negative also is fine. But remember, when I'm saying st minus x is positive, and if I'm talking about this to do negative, I can also do x minus st to get the negative, which you were saying, right? I forget the name. But then it is better to go like this and then put a bracket and minus so that these values will come. Okay. Because again, if you solve this bracket, it will look like x minus st only, and then you will get confused because x minus st also is for the put. Okay, so you can see that. So you will get confused. So it is better that you use the combinations, and whatever I am suggesting, probably you can go ahead with this. Put minus because you know that st minus x is the long call and x minus st is the long put, and then it becomes easy. So either you remember this way or that way. But then this is little bit important for you to remember. So you can see that st minus x is which I can go ahead and then put the minus sign around, outside it. So those people who are comfortable with the remembering the formulas, you remember this formula like this. You can see that the long put. This is the long put. For the long put, the formula is going to be, the positive value will come st minus x minus st. Okay, so this is what you will get the positive values. So all the time, this is what you can see that it's written here. And for the long call, you can get st minus x. So if you want to remember, long put is that, and long call is going to be equal to st minus x. But what happens when you use this formula, that 0 part is not written. Okay. So sometimes people go ahead with drawing all that and negative values also they write. So that is the drawback of using the formula. So in Excel sheet, that is taken care by writing this 0 here. But when you write in the notebook, you are going to write x minus st and st minus x, and then you will find that suddenly you forget that negative value should not be taken in the case of put and call, and you go ahead with writing negative here also. Okay, so that's what the problem happens. Okay, I hope I'm making sense and you are understanding what I'm saying. Okay, if you miss some classes, you'll find it difficult. Okay, so I can write st. Oops. So first let me write st minus x bracket complete. So I'm going to take the minus of the. So you can remember it like this. I'm just going to write it like this, st, and here it is going to be st minus x. But please remember, I'm putting a minus sign around it. So once I put for the call minus outside, it will become x minus st, which is nothing but again p. So whichever way you want to remember with the diagram plus this. There is no shortcut way to remember this, so you have to see and practice it. So now if I put that, so minus of max of st minus this, which is fixed, and then I can draw this line. Oops, what happened? Minus did not come.
Sir, it's x minus st because you have already put a minus sign before max.
Yeah. 1 minute.
But I guess there are two ways to do it.
Yeah, I know, but no, it should not be the case here. So I'm saying max of 0 and st minus x, right? St minus x f4 bracket complete is what is your long call is giving you. St minus x, right, is what you should get. Yeah, that's what we are getting. St minus x is what I'm saying. Yeah, this is what st minus x you are getting, and then I put minus around it. So I'll go here and put minus around it. It should give me that. I don't know what. Maybe I think while I was pressing something, it was not coming. Oops, I think it has to be minus. So Excel sheet something I have to change. So let me do that. So how do I put it? Minus outside or minus inside? 1 minute. So I have to get the minus 5 over here, right? No, it's 0, correct? It is coming, you correct only, no? See, when I'm doing this, when the 45 is there, it is 0 only. We are looking at the wrong place, correct? It is. Okay, all right. Sorry. So minus max of the 0 and st, right, minus x. So the formula is right. There's no worry. We are looking at different locations. So you can see that is 0 here, and then double click, you'll get that minus over here. Okay, so I was looking minus figure here, but obviously that is not the case because minus figure will come only after 50. You can see that here. So remember x minus st minus x is the put and call. So let me write P के लिए ये formula है and C के लिए formula है, and then obviously I can put minus C around that formula. Okay, so I'm using this and you are getting this formula. Now just the summation of these values, sum of, and you can see that it is going to be constant. So you see that S plus P minus C is giving me the fixed portfolio output. So that is the parity equation. So now you change anything here, whichever you think you want to change. Say, for example, you want to change it from 50 to some other number, then automatically all this will still remain the same. Right? Say, for example, if I were to do it from 55 to let's say whatever. And then you can see that it remains the same, right? Oops, what I did. It's copying. Yeah, so you can see that the fixed amount is fixed here. So irrespective of whatever is happening to ST, right, this will remain same. So again, I can change it back to 45, which is our regular example, which we can see it here. And then I can double click here and we'll get the answer. And now we can draw the diagram. So that is easy, but then still you can look at one by one. So if I put the part which is ST and the S, which will be same line. So there is no point in drawing this, but then you can see that this part, which is important, then we talk about these two parts and then insert the diagram. Recommended charts. And you can see that there is one constant figure here, and so either if there is another generation. Okay, I think this is better. Okay, so you can see that one is the fixed one, which is nothing but the 51. We can see that the amount which is 50, which is fixed here, right? That is irrespective of whatever is the stock price, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, all that, it is remaining same, right? Now here you will see that there is actually blue line and red line like behaving differently, but that is because it's overlapping. So you can see that this part, the blue line, which is there, is actually put line, right? And the other one, orange line, is your short call. And you can see that all this put together is looking like this fixed part, right? Now, suppose if I were to see that long share diagram also in that, if I put yes also. So let me explain that what I'm doing. So first, let's draw P and C. So let's draw P. So P is looking like this. Okay. Then let me draw minus C. So now minus C is going to look like this. Okay. And then if I'm having this, and if I were to draw the S, so if I draw this as my S, holding the share, so I have plus S, right? And then plus P, and this is minus C. So if you see what is actually happening, so this part will get cancelled with this part will get cancelled with this part, and you are going to get a simple straight line which is fixed at 50. So since instead of writing drawn hit here, because we are putting 50s line, so you will get that line as 50s line here. Okay, it is a payoff. So you are getting the fixed amount which is 50. Okay, so you can see that as either you denote it like that, the 50 is fixed, or you can draw a horizontal line on at 50 and you will get this is the output. So irrespective of whatever is happening to the ST, my payoff is going to be 50. Is what actually these diagrams are telling. Now I have drawn on this Excel sheet only the P and C and S plus P minus C. So if I draw S again, it will overlap and it will get one more line like this. So I'm just trying to do that also. So we can say simply S. So there are lots of graphs around. You can understand, right? Are you getting this point? So if I put everything now, which is going to look like complex and it will not make any sense, but still let's see whether. So you can see that this is what is happening here. But it is not going because one is payoff and the other one is like this. So you can see that the total amount. So it looks like now why this blue line is going up and all that. Okay, because the x-axis is talking about this one. So long share is looking like that there. So either I reduce the 50 from all of them, then that line will come on this. Are you getting this point? So if I use the Excel sheet and the values which are there here are actually starting from X axis on. So this is not the long share is not the payoff, right? The long share is not the payoff. So we are talking about the payoff here some places, and some places we are talking about the value. So here the line of 50 is not the payoff but the portfolio value. These two are payoffs. So actually this diagram is only going to be telling you the payoff part. The payoff part is very small part. You can see that the payoff part is very small part, and this part is not payoff, but still we are superimposing so rather the value part on the payoff part. So therefore this looks so distant and different. But otherwise conceptually, are you clear here now? So what is happening? Actually, it is better here. You can see it. This is what is happening. So in the Excel sheet, I have to again keep two separate diagrams like this also will do. So if I remove that, you will get that feeling. So if I do that same thing what I did there, so you can get this part and then these two parts. So you will get that diagram which I have drawn. Okay, and you can see that the same thing which I have drawn except the S part. So I'll write once again here only the things which I have drawn there. So the long put, right, and the short call. So you can see the same thing happening here, long put and short call. Okay, so that is there, and this is the payoff amount. Okay, the payoffs are drawn. So you can see that payoff is there. Now putting yes here just for the illustration, but then yes is not a payoff. Yes is the total amount. Okay, so that will be actually starting from 45, wherever we started the data from. So from data is from 45, the line will start parallel to like this. So that is going to create unnecessary line, so it is not required. So we can see that this is the payoff diagram, and if you want to superimpose the diagram of yes, it will go here. So for illustration purpose, we are saying that if I calculate the profit of yes also, then can be calculated. So if I were to bring that line on here in this one, then I have to calculate the profit of yes. That can be done. Okay, so suppose now instead of writing yes, if I write profit of yes, the profit of yes will be again assuming that this is my buying price, right? And then you'll get this. So if you want to do that, we can do that also. So let's insert. I know that this is a little bit tricky, and there are so many things why this. So if you don't ask questions, I wouldn't know what you are not understanding. Please ask questions here. So what I'm saying is that the profit on selling yes. So assuming that so if you are having the beginning purchase price as 50, right, and selling as this, so you will see that it is completely going to be different now. So selling price is going to be this price minus my purchase price. So you are going to make a a loss on this. So this is what will look like, and then you will see that if I'm having profit part, so the portfolio is not the portfolio now. So I cannot draw the portfolio diagram. So I have to only put these three diagrams together. So let's put only these three. Control and PNC. So if I only take the profit and loss only, so what is happening there, you can see profit and loss, and then insert the diagram recommended. And here is the case. Okay, so this is how it is looking like, and then we can bring all those together. So you can see that this line is short call, this line is long put, and the blue line is this long share. And then you can see the total. Now total will be 0 here. We are not put that total. If I put that, you can see that here in the Excel sheet. So you can check that, right? So if I add this, -5 + 5 0, -4 + 4 0, all that. This is all coming 0 only. You can see that. If I add this together, all will become 0. So if I only put the profit and loss only, so that I can get that. But here we are talking about portfolio. Portfolio is going to talk about the amount which you will be receiving. So there are two things which are here mixed. So you segregate and do it. That is also fine. If you want to do only profit, also is fine. So look at what is happening here. So if I'm going to draw the diagram, this diagram is payoff diagram. Okay. And payoff diagram is, this is what I'm looking at. This is my long put. Okay. And now if I put the short call is this. This is my payoff diagram there. Okay. Now if I superimpose yes on this, the yes is not actually the share price, but then I have to tell you what is the profit of yes. So this line which I'm going to draw, is going to talk about my plus yes. Okay, so this plus yes is not this one, plus yes payoff. I can talk about payoff of yes. Actually, there is nothing called payoff of yes, but then I'm just saying, just to make sure, so that if my share price is purchase price is 50 and price goes to 55 in the market, I have made a profit of 5 rupees, and you can see that in the Excel sheet here, 55, and my profit on yes is 5 rupees. So similarly, I can look at any other part here. If it is 52, I have made a profit of 2 rupees, and you can see that here. And similarly, I can go to the other side, and if it is 45, I made a loss of -5, and you can see that here. So this diagram is the kind of profit of this. But when we put the portfolio will be separately written like this. So yes will be straightforward here, but then that will be profit. And if you see that this is not going to be the payoff diagram, so we cannot draw a payoff diagram for the long share. Only we can write yes payoff, and then I can draw this line. So the P part is going to look like this, plus C part is going to look like this. And then when I add yes to it, now in the terms of diagram, if I were to put yes, then it will look like something from, let's say 45 is my data range, and this is how it is going to look like. Okay, and this is going to be my ST. Okay. And then this is going to be my 50. So if I'm holding the share, the price goes to 45, this also is 45. If it goes to 55, it goes to 55. So it's actually, the normal figure which you draw for the thing. So which goes like this, which right? So if the intercept is 45, it will go like this. And these are the things which are these diagrams, not the payoff diagram. Payoff diagram comes with middle line, not the line at the end. So this is 0, but in this case, 0 is at this part, bottom. Okay, so I'll write once again, so there should be absolute clarity. So we'll look at first the portfolio. So yes, P and C, and these are all diagrams. When I add these together, I'll get a portfolio. Okay, so I can draw both the diagrams. First, I'll draw the portfolio part. So I'll have to draw a diagram like this. So assuming that I'm not starting at 0, but if you want to start from 0, let's do that. And let's say we have our data is from 45 and is up to 55. And here also on x-axis, I have to start from 45 and it will go up to 55. And this line will look like straight line. which will be 45 degrees. And you can see that whenever the ST is 45, my S also is 45 and all that. So this is a straight line which is there. P, which is going to be the wave diagram here. And we can see that it is, actually we can do premium calculation also here, but as of now we'll just simplify this to say that this is plus P, and then this is going to be minus C. Right? When I do this, the output which I get is at 50, it is constant. Okay? So this is what the portfolio diagram is going to look like. Okay, if I were to draw the only the profit part of it, then the profit part will look like this. The profit part will look like this. Buying price is 50 and this is for plus yes, and then this remains the same, plus P, and this is minus C, and the total is going to be 0. So you know that although 50 is there, it is 0. Straight line. There is no gain, no loss, that fixed, and whatever the share price portfolio value is 50. So we have two types of diagrams, and that is what will create some kind of disturbance in thinking. One is portfolio, one is only the profit and loss. So you can see that. So looking at this now and looking at the Excel sheet which we calculated here, so we can look at all these parts which are calculated. So if I draw only the portfolio, only the profit and all that, so we can see that the diagrams coming up. So we can look at these diagrams once again. If you want to see the first diagram to be drawn, which we drew here, this part, yes, with the portfolio part, so which we can use this, right? Plus now we are talking about the portfolio, so actual value will be there, right? And you can also see that these two parts will be there, plus P minus C, right? And I need to get this also because that is my total. So what I'm going to look at is yes plus P plus C and all that. Now this is going to create now 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. Okay, and one of them is the portfolio. So the S part is also drawn. So if I were to draw S part here, that S part can be drawn here also. Okay, so I have not drawn S part in here, but then I can draw that. So we'll get that diagram now, and let's go to the recommended charts, and you can see it here. Okay, so you are getting that S diagram here from 45 to 55. Okay, and here this is your payoff diagram, which is there, right? And the color is very similar to what it is. So one is the gray colored is the short call, and the orange color is the long put. So you can see that all these things give the values here, right? Okay, and you can see that the fourth line, which is actually not seen here, which is under these series, which is going to be 0. Okay, so we can see that things can come here, and you select any of those and you will get this diagram. So doing an Excel sheet also sometimes is so confusing here. You can see that, right? So you can take one by one. I think that is better. So I'll do that first, one by one. Suppose now I take PS, which is our x-axis, and I'm going to draw my share. So if I draw my share, I can do it from here only because the adjacent are there, and then I can put the line here, and you can see that this is what my line is going to look like, right? And this is like starting from 45 to 40, this side 45. So I have done this, right? So this is the part which we drew, the first one. Okay, now if I were to draw the S plus P, so I'm going to take this and this plus P, right? Not this one, not P, this is P is here. So, and I and control this and add the P part to it. Okay, and now insert the diagram. Now you can see that this is how it is looking. So the S is there, okay, which is the amount which we'll get in actual portfolio amount, and this is the payoff which is superimposed there in this. So you can see that this is a very big value, 45 to 55, the blue line, whereas this payoff is very small. So that is the second chart which we got. Now let's add the third part to it. So this one, then we have this part, and then we have the P and C. So I'm going to draw this diagram. Now you can see that this is clear, right? So now we can insert and go to the charts, and you can see it here. So you're getting those charts now, right? So one is as yes is there, right? Now orange line is your put, and the gray line is your short call. So you can get that also. So long put, short call. So that is your long put, short call. These two products we saw, long put, short call. These two lines are there, and plus this yes also is there. Now if I were to draw the line which is going to be the portfolio part, so I think here, since I have to delete this part here, because the portfolio, I have put the formula sum here. So let me change sum. Sum is equal to S plus P plus C, and that's what I'll get the 50 here. And that is 50. Now I can include this plus S plus P plus C and equal to amount also. So if I do all this, I don't know whether it takes 4 recommended charts, but I think it should be, yeah, it's there. So which I did in the beginning, if you remember. So you can see it here. My S is the blue line. My orange color, this one is the long put. Gray color is the short call. And this another lighter yellowish, yellow I think it is, yellow color is your portfolio amount, which is constant at 50, fixed. Okay, that is what we are getting. Now if I, instead of the yes, if I take profit on yes, then that will get shifted down. That's the only thing which you'll find. Okay, so both of these, once I instead of yes, if I do as profit on yes, this blue line will come down, and then accordingly even this yellow line will also come down, and it will merge on the 0, and that is what we are going to find it here. Okay, that is what is here. So you can see that all these parts can be drawn and found out from both the methods, either use Excel sheet or this. So overall, there are two things. One is portfolio and one is only the payoff. So normally for the proving, we are using the put call parity equation, for which we are using the portfolio. So you can see that this is the case of portfolio amount. So the portfolio amount for which we get the constant 50s line. Okay, so let's revisit anything else you want to, and then we can go ahead with the next, or we'll stop for today, and we'll have to go through this lot of practice. You can see that even after doing so much of practice, sometimes if you in Excel sheet you make a mistake, it goes and it takes time, right? So you have to be very clear. So I prefer doing this actually, because this is clear, it is in my hand, not in Excel, because Excel is a tool, and if you do some mistake there, then again you'll get some funny diagrams. So you can see that earlier when I put the sum diagram here, it was adding this also into that sum. Okay, so it was giving the same as yes. Okay, all right. So any questions? Please don't hesitate. If you don't understand anything from here, you are gone. Yes.
In this example,
fund.
we haven't considered the addition and subtraction, receivable and receiving premium and then paying off the premium,
Yeah,
right?
that now we can simply go on doing this. So what will happen? Sorry, can't. So here now you can draw one more diagram here down. So now let's look at Kage. So now if I were to draw the portfolio part, so the portfolio will look like this. So you can see that this line is going to be from 50 to 45 to 55. Okay, so you know that this is going to be 55. And this also we can say that 45 to 55. So my x-axis range is only from 45 to 55. If I put it that way, then we have the payoff diagram which is going to look like this now. So it will come down. Okay, so whatever the amount which we got, it will just get shifted down. Here it will get shifted up. Right? And therefore, again you will see that whatever is the difference between this and this is going to get added here, right? So if I'm going to put, suppose this is my 50 line, now this is not going to be 50. Suppose now the premium which is paid on this put is, let's say, plus 2, and this is also you paid here, it is you received 2 rupees here, right? What I mean, minus 2 and plus 2, then we will get the same line as 50. Okay, but suppose this is 3 rupees, that is 3 rupees the premium paid here, and it is 2. So obviously you know that the 1 rupee loss is there. So the line will be at 49. So it depends upon how much is the premium. So that calculation we can do it in Excel also. So we can put that here. So let me manually put it here. Okay, so now don't want to change the entire part here. So what I'll do is the put here itself in the formula I'll make the changes. Is that okay if I do that way? So in the formula itself, I will just add or deduct. Okay.
Sure.
It's okay, no?
Yeah, it will be easier.
Okay. So now, because the graph will be immediately drawn there. So now suppose I say that the premium which is on the put, which has to be given. So that will be minus. So let's say minus 2 is what I'll do. And I can double click. And on this, I have to change again F2 and say that I'll receive the same amount, just for the sake of it, and you can see that the same diagram will remain because plus and minus 2. But now suppose I want to use the figures which we have used here, 2.51 and minus 6.74. So let's do that. Long put is 2.51. The long put is 2.51. Did I type correct? Yeah, 2.51. And then in this case we have to write, did I do plus and minus ulta? 1 minute. Correct, right? And this is where we have to do plus 6.54, right? If I'm not wrong, 6.74. 74. And then you can see that the diagram is looking like this now. But nevertheless, it is a straight line, right? It remains a fixed. So 54.23. You can see that. So with the payoff, only the shifting of line will happen. So even if you take the profit and not payoff, profit and loss, even if you consider the profit and loss, the line is just getting shifted, right? So it is the important point to remember is that whatever we are doing here, we are getting the portfolio value is constant. Getting this? This is the main part which we are proving. The part which we are proving today is S plus P minus C is constant every time as a portfolio. Correct? Is that clear? And you can see these diagrams also here down how they are shifted.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you can show this. So it is shifted down, it is shifted up, and all that. So this is what is going to look like and you have to make a practice of drawing these diagrams. Then only you'll come to know. If not comfortable with the diagrams, go ahead with the Excel sheet calculations. Since I'm not there in the live class, otherwise I'd have asked you to do it in your notebooks. In the notebooks, when you do it, you learn more and better, because you'll be knowing and doing that kind. Even Excel sheet is okay, but then um, first, at least once you do it in the notepad, and then you will get the control over what is actually happening. Because see, these products are quite looking similar but in opposite direction. So as I told you that S plus P looks like C, right? So those things are there. So it's better to understand each individual product and then combine as and when it comes. And after you get some practice, you will see that okay, S plus P looks like plus C, and that will get by habit. So in fact, you can remember it in this fashion. Now I'm going to conclude. Is that you remember it this fashion? My P and S plus P, the output looks like, so I'm going to write like this instead of equal. So I'm saying that if I'm having the share and this one, my output is going to look like this, which looks like a long call, right? So if I add to it minus C, so you can see that S plus P going to look like this. So this is your 0, this is your 50, let's say, and then you can see that if I add C to it, so how it will look like. So if I am a C to it, so the 50 part, which is as usual this one, and then I'll put the C part, minus C part is going to look like this. So what will be the output? So this will get cancelled with this, and then output will look like straight line at 50. This is what we did. So basically S plus P is going to look like this, and then so in fact we can see that in an Excel sheet also. So draw a different diagram. So this one, yes. Actually, I'm teaching the next topic. This is what S plus P is, protective put it is it's called. But anyways, so we'll see that insert the diagram. So you can play around, and then you will find that happening there. Oh, yeah. I put only S. Okay. So profit dal liya. And you can just insert charts. Okay. And this is the first part, S plus P. Separately, you can see that how it is looking like. And so the same thing I have done, right? S plus P is this. And now we'll combine the output of these two. So for combining output of these two, I have to draw S plus P here. S plus P. And you have to write it here equal to S plus P. And double click. Okay. Now you can see that if I put S plus P and S plus P together. Okay. Now if I draw this, then you will get the diagram which I drew. Okay. So you can see that. So blue line is S, this is orange line is P, and this gray line is S plus P. And you can see that there is a break here. You can see that it is going to look like call. It's going up. See, it's straight line and then bending upwards. So this is looking like call. Now on this, if I add C, then the another line will come like this here, like this, and this will get added, and therefore this line will become straight, which I already seen in the previous chart. I hope this is clear, right? Any doubts?
No, sir.
Everybody, please let me see that, because if you are having some doubts, don't
No,
go
sir.
ahead with doubts. You will be having difficulty later on. I'm telling you this time and again, because after some time we are going to stop the because see, in derivatives we have a lot of new terminology. and therefore it takes a little longer time. But now in seen in the corporate valuation, after the first calculations, we are directly getting into the project. So we are already doing that. Okay. So here, this is a very fundamental conceptual part. So it will take time. If you don't do it now, I can start after 15th session. I'll start the strategies. So it should be clear. If you are not clear about long call, long put, short put, any combination, what is the difference between the portfolio and the payoff? The parity equations which we did, the parity equations is talking about the portfolio value being remaining constant at the end. So today's part, what we learned. So let's summarize that also. Otherwise, I think sometimes what we did today, and it took so a lot of time, was that we had to do the portfolio and all that. So you can see that what we did today was S plus P minus C is equal to constant, right? And that constant is nothing but, we calculated that. What is that constant was? Yeah, now let me check, cross check. What was the constant here? If this is at given x, so this is going to be x divided by 1 plus r raised to t. This is what we got today. This is the put call parity equation, put call spot parity equation. Okay, so you can see that this is put call spot parity equation. So we have proved it. We saw the diagrams, saw the portfolio diagrams, saw the payoff diagrams, and we got this. So for getting the put call parity equation, we are using the portfolio. So that when we are saying portfolio, we are talking about this as the entire amount investment, not the profit part on this. And then we are talking about whatever is the value of this P and C, and then we get this amount which is fixed. So you can see that why this is divided by x 1 plus r by t. Anybody? Why this is divided by 1 plus r raised to t?
Maybe they're discounting it
Counting what?
to the present day.
Yeah. So you can see that in the timeline, when we saw in the Excel sheet calculations here, we saw that the amount which is here, the portfolio amount, 54.23 or whatever the amount we getting, this part is at time t. So when we got this amount 54.23, that is your x amount, which is fixed amount, was here, and your S plus P minus C, which is I think 48.77, is here. Correct. Now we have to bring this amount back to here. Then we'll get that. So that has to be done by x upon 1 plus r raised to t. So the t is the period, r is the risk-free rate during that period. So now we can see that x is fixed, right? X is fixed. We already know that if I combine S plus P minus C, if I combine, I get a product which is constant in value at time t. Okay, if I combine these today at time 0, I am getting a product output of this combination as a fixed amount in t. Now, I think since we have discussed this much, I'll just add one more point. We have to see that now, if instead of x, which is the exercise price here, okay, let's say this is 50, let's say this is 50. If instead of x, which is constant, which I know the portfolio, I can also say that this is like a bond or treasury bill, T-bill. So T-bill face value is 50. So the payment which you will be receiving if you are holding the bond, if you purchase the bond and then at the maturity you sold the bond, you will get 50 rupees, right? If 50 is the face value. So you can see that if 50 is the face value, bond face value doesn't change, and you know that if I'm holding the bond at the maturity, I'll get 50 rupees fixed. Correct? I'll get 50 rupees fixed. So I know that if I'm holding bond whose face value is 50, at maturity I'll get 50 rupees, no matter what happens, because it's a government bond. So that means government bond is behaving like S plus P minus C, isn't it? So since output of this is same as this, so you can see that the present value of bond also should be equal to S plus P minus C. So this is the part which will be used, and those are called synthetic. So from real ones, you can generate this one. So I'll close with this last comment, is that if S plus P minus C is equal to X, and remember that X upon, when I put equal to, I have to write 1 plus R upon T, otherwise I can keep it in distant and say that X. Now, if I want to generate S, I can actually do this, X upon 1 plus RT, right? And you can take the equation this side, minus P plus C. Okay, so if I don't have share and you want to buy the share, you can do this. Buy the bond, sell the put, and buy the call, and you will get the exact behavior of yes. Similarly, you can do, if you want to create a put, you can create the put from this equation. From this equation, put is equal to X upon 1 plus R raised to T, right? Plus C minus S. So if you have a bond, long bond or treasury bill plus long call minus short share. So if you short the share, you have the long call, and if you have the long bond, your output will look like long put. Okay. So these are called generating synthetic ones. So which is nothing but the part which we will be looking at next. We can see that short stock plus all that. This is the fixed one, and then you can generate this. This is how it is going to be used. You can generate long put by taking a long position in T-bill, short stock, and long call. Long call can be generated by long stock plus long put plus short. So you can see that all this is coming from that put call parity equation. And in fact, this is going to be used for pricing when you go to the Black-Scholes model and all that. So you will see that on Monday onwards, we'll go through that. So basically, this is all conceptual subject to begin with, a lot of terminology and then mixing of all those. And then if time permits, we'll see that whether we can take big case study. Otherwise, we'll go with small examples to get the feeling of all these things. So if you are understood, if I'm going to assume that you understood, and then we will start with the problems. Is that okay, or you want one more lecture on conceptual clarity? As a class, you tell me so that I can repeat what we have done, or else I'm just going to say that, okay, this is the share, this is the price movement, create the table and get me the output. That's what I'm going to do next class onwards. So if I'm going to give the data, you have to just create the table, and using the Excel sheet, or if you are doing it on this one, you have to just show it to me on in your class online, right? Or what are you thinking? Because I would like to know that, because otherwise, if it is not clear, I'm going to again repeat the same part. So let me get some idea whether you are okay, not okay. Have you started doing this on a piece of paper, or only listening? Only listening will not help.
So I think one more class for the concept.
Definitely is saying other people. What other people are saying?
Sir, I also need one more class.
Prathamesh, okay. Who else?
Sir, I also need one more class.
Okay, one more class, we'll see. Okay. Anybody else?
Yes, sir.
One more class.
One more class.
Okay, for five people are at least saying that. Okay, let's do the repetition. Now, let me ask quick questions. Which part you are finding it difficult? Let me give the options. The first part, which is put, call. Are you finding put call difficult, or you are finding the portfolio difficult?
So the portfolio.
Portfolio, sir.
Yes, portfolio.
Okay, so what we'll do is next class we'll once again I will go the reverse way. I'll give you the problem to you. You have to solve it, and then I will solve it along with you. I think that will clear, because as of now I'm thinking that you are not writing or doing anything. Is that the case? Can you just come online? I mean, just for 2 minutes, and then we'll close. Yeah. Put your videos on. Yeah. So now, if you see, if you need the, I mean, are you doing it? Neha is actually putting paper in her hand. So I assume that you are doing it.
Yes, sir.
Neha, are you doing it or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Prabhat, doing it? Okay, still you need. Okay, Vaishnavi?
Yes, sir, I'm doing it.
Okay, to fair extent, 70% is understood. How many people are with 70%? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 70%, 5, 6,
Yes, sir. 70%.
7, 8. Okay, so I think 70% understood. Only that last today's class is only, I think, is little bit right. Previous classes are clear with you, right? Right. So only because of portfolio you are finding it, because portfolio is going to talk about the entire amount. Okay. All right. And then the graphs are getting confused with this line, that line, and all that. So we will redo this part. Don't bother. But then I am going to ask you to do that at your home on the notepad. Don't get confused again that I don't remember now long put. Okay. So ensure that at least you remember long put, long call. Okay. Short put, short call. Those things should be very, very clear. And remember this part, and then we are going to go ahead with the strategic part. Strategic part is going to be asking like, in which case you want to use protective put. Say, for example, there is one product called protective put. Okay. So now if you don't understand this, how will you answer that question? So that is why I go slow and I keep asking this. And this has been experienced that over the period, whenever first time the derivative class is taught, it is jumbling and it requires time. So be honest, but without practice, it is going to be difficult part if you don't do it. And that practice part is missing because I don't have control over you on as I have in the classroom. Okay. Normally what I do is I stop in front of each student and ask them to do it. And I ask them to come on the note, this one, whiteboard and do it. But that part is completely missing. Oh, okay. That gives me an idea. Okay, that's great. I think that gives me an idea. So what I'll do is I'll ask, okay, some of you to present your screen and do that Excel sheet calculation, or even you can use the diagrams and show it. Oh, that is good. Only that I will not be able to do it with everyone, but at least 1 or 2 guys who are comfortable, and there will be huge learning. I'll tell you, because some of you, when you come on the board and do it, I have seen that other people prompting and telling them, and that gives a thrilling experience. Okay, I know. Although I'm not coming on the board, but I know. So those things I would like to see. I hope we'll do a combination of that. Okay, so some of you who are comfortable, be ready, and you can prepare your own example, but I'm not going to ask you your own example. I'm going to give you something else. Okay, and then do it on the Excel sheet, or first on the, I think all of you are having Paint application, right? So, but then how will you, on the Paint application, you don't have the board which I have. So I don't know whether you'll be able to display it. Paint application. You cannot display the Paint application, or you can. But then drawing, that will be difficult, right? Okay. For me, I am getting the tab. So on the tab, I am actually doing it. So you have to do it only in the Excel sheet. Okay. We have some difficulty. Okay. But at least in Excel sheet, you can do it. 1 or 2 trials will make, if in the Excel sheet, if you can do it, okay, which can be displayed here to all the people, and Excel sheet you do it, and let's see how it goes. If it's going to consume too much of time, then we'll find out some other way. Are you okay with this? So as we stand today, we'll be taking one more session on portfolio part once again. We'll redo this part again, including your participation, your showing the Excel sheet calculations. Okay. So anything else?
No, sir.
Okay. So
No, sir.
yeah, all right. So today is what? 13th August? So this
Yes,
is
sir.
already taken the attendance or what? 13th. I think missed the date. Should be saying 12th August. And 13th August is, this is today's what? 13th session for us. Okay, Rohan. He's absent. What happened? Either he is there, not there. What is happening? So many classes absent. How is he going to do their subject?
Sir, I
Goodness
talked
is
to
there.
him. He's not well.
He's not there.
He's not well.
He's not keeping well. Is it okay? Okay. So is it Corona or what?
Sir, that too, I have no idea about it. I confirm.
Okay. All right. Okay. So Devanita is there. The Shubham is there. Vaishnav is there. Lakshya is there. Maitri is there. Himanshu is there. Nikhil is there. Is there? Bhavat is there. Okay. Everybody is there except him. So we have 11. Okay. See you on Tuesday. Tomorrow for the extra class on the working capital. But otherwise for these our regular lectures on Tuesday. Bye for now. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Bye, sir. Thank you.